One of the other interesting things about the conscious mind is that it is limited. The subconscious mind is unlimited, but the conscious mind, there's lots of scientific research, psychological research, that shows that the conscious mind can only hold about 7 to 9 bits of information at any time. This is why trying consciously to make important and substantial changes in your life usually fails, because the conscious mind can only hold 7 to 9 bits of information. Hypnosis allows you to go in and work with this greater database of who you are and have an effect on your habits and beliefs, especially those limiting beliefs that have held you back at times in your life. And as we can see, the conscious mind also has a protective function. It is constantly protecting you against perceived danger. And that's based upon what is rational and analytical. Okay? So that's basically how the hypnotist thinks about the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious mind. Now you're going to notice that between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind is a thing called the critical factor. The critical factor is a comparing mechanism. As new information comes into you through your senses, it has to be acknowledged by the conscious mind and then get through this critical factor before it becomes beliefs, habits, and really enters into that database of information. The critical factor is the reason why it is hard to change limiting beliefs and habits over time. When that new information comes in, it compares that new information with what's already in the subconscious mind. If it matches what's already in there, especially in the area of beliefs and habits, then it instantly goes in and then reinforces what already exists. Those beliefs, those habits become more firm, stronger in your life. But if some new bit of information comes in and it doesn't match what's in there, it just goes into the database of information. It's stuff you know about, but really doesn't have an effect on your life. Good. Now I'm going to define some terms that your hypnotist may find him or herself using. First, the most important term is, what's hypnosis? Fortunately, the U.S. government has given us a definition that is very useful. According to the U.S. government, hypnosis is the bypass of the critical factor and acceptance of acceptable selective thinking. An example of that would simply be that when information comes in, hypnosis allows us to bypass this comparing mechanism so that information can go right into the subconscious mind and affect our limiting beliefs and our habits, so we can make powerful change right away. Now, if I was to change this around a little bit, maybe improve it a little bit, I'd change the definition to, through the establishment of acceptable selective thinking, we would get the bypass of the critical factor. And the establishment of acceptable thinking is really just a fancy way of saying focused attention. When the hypnotist or hypnotherapist works with you, when you first start off a session, he's going to be doing, or she's going to be doing, a hypnotic induction. And this just helps you to relax and focus your attention. Another word that your hypnotist might use, or hypnotherapist, is the word sleep. Hypnosis is not sleep. If your hypnotist or your hypnotherapist use the word sleep, I want you to think of it as a shorthand. Shorthand for go deeply relaxed as if you were asleep with your eyes closed. If you go to sleep, you'll miss the whole thing. So stay awake no matter how many times your hypnotist or hypnotherapist says sleep. Just remember that that means eyes closed, deeply relaxed. One of the important things I want to really mention as we're here today talking is I want you to understand that hypnosis is a normally occurring state in human beings. Hypnosis has been going on for so long as there's been human beings as we know them. Let me give you some examples of normally occurring states of hypnosis. Most people have had the experience of driving in a car or riding in an automobile and driving along. Maybe you're thinking about what you're going to do when you get to work or on the weekend, and you're thinking, well, your focused attention on something other than driving. Your unconscious mind is taking care of driving the car. You're going to go into a state of hypnosis because of the focused attention, and then all of a sudden you might go, oh, I wonder if I've passed my turnoff, or gee, where did the time go? These are common kinds of experiences when driving. These are naturally occurring states of hypnosis. Another interesting thing is in very deep levels of hypnosis, people can experience analgesia or anesthesia. The analgesia is the blockage of pain, and anesthesia is the complete blockage of all sensation. I know I've had the experience, and maybe you have also, the experience of, oh, maybe you're getting ready for bed, and you look down at your leg or your arm, and you'll notice that there's a big bruise or a cut, a scrape or a scratch. And you wonder, gosh, how did I get that? Well, this is what happened. During the day, you were focused on something, and as you focused on it, you went into a state of hypnosis, naturally occurring normal hypnosis. And then what happened is you incurred the injury, the bump that caused the bruise, the scrape that caused the cut, and you didn't even feel it. And so that shows that even hypnotic anesthesia and analgesia is a normal, naturally occurring state. Okay. Another thing I want to get to you real quick, because we're wrapping this up, is that hypnosis is safe. When you go into hypnosis, you're always going to be conscious. You're never going to be unconscious. Whatever the hypnotist is having you focus on, well, that's a function of the conscious mind. Typically, a hypnotist will have you focus on relaxation. That's a very nice thing to focus on. Typically, you'll go more relaxed as you do the hypnosis session. And because all the levels of the mind, the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, all have these protective functions, no matter how deeply you go into hypnosis, you're always going to be able to protect yourself. If ever a suggestion was given to you that you don't like, you'd automatically reject it. And if it was something you really didn't like, you might even emerge from hypnosis. Hypnosis is safe and been accepted by the American Medical Association since 1958 and has been used by medical and other kinds of professionals for a great variety of things, from anesthesia to behavioral change, taking care of psychosomatic illness, and a number of things. Hypnosis is a consensual state. It's something that you do with the hypnotherapist. As a matter of fact, the hypnotherapist really is acting as a coach or a guide. He or she knows a number of what we call hypnotic inductions. If you follow the instructions, you're going to be focused, relaxed, and go into a wonderful state of hypnosis. By the way, leave it up to your hypnotist or hypnotherapist to determine if you're in hypnosis. Anyone of normal intelligence can be hypnotized. There used to be thought that only 20% of the population could be hypnotized. Well, what we've learned is if we take the time to do what I'm doing here, explaining hypnosis to you, then anyone of normal intelligence who's willing to follow instructions can experience a wonderful level of hypnosis and experience all the changes that he or she came in to make. Now, let me wrap this up. In a few minutes, your hypnotist or hypnotherapist will come in. I hope you wrote down any questions you might have so that you can ask him or her about any questions you have about hypnosis. Feel free to ask those questions. We want you to be comfortable with the idea of going into hypnosis. Okay, once again, this is Calvin Banyan. Thanks for taking the time to learn a little bit about hypnosis with me today.